If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Coach Rob Carter joins us of Sylacauga High School. Coach Carter recently named as head football coach of the Sylacauga Aggies. And Coach, good morning to you and welcome to Sylacauga.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about Rob Carter. I know you got one state championship under your belt at Beauregard and was there several years.
Right. I mean, I've been at Beauregard 15 years, head coach for the last 7 years. Been a great experience there. No doubt it was a tough decision to leave there. Good people. You know, originally, I guess you know that part, had some really good football players and teams and good coaching staff, and was able to win a state championship in 2016, had really good success. I would think as an early, 7 years tenure there as a head coach. But started, I guess, my career. My dad was a coach. My brother was a coach. I got sister-in-laws that are in education.
You had nowhere to go but coaching.
That's right. My dad always warned me. He said, "Put wheels on your house now when you get to be a coach." And it was always, I guess, I learned probably from him as much as anything. And my brother, my oldest brother, or my middle brother, Tim, has been a successful coach in the state of Alabama, from Auburn High School to Fairhope and around. So. It was in our blood, and it's a calling for sure to work with young people and try to build character in them and give them something to be successful later on.
One of the needs for Sylacauga High School was that whomever the head football coach was hired, that they'd be closer to Sylacauga, and you're in the process of doing just that.
Absolutely, we're looking to close up our house back in Auburn and get over here because I'm making this drive every day. But we've looked at houses and we're anxious to get here. I know my son has got made friends with several of the players on the team, or if not the entire team, and he's dying to get here. So it is definitely number one on our list right now is finding the right place to live in Sylacauga. So
talk a little bit more about your family. Who are they?
My wife, Keely, we've been married 8 years. We're sort of a Brady Bunch. She had 3 kids, and I had 2 in a previous marriage. But great family of what I married into with hers, just father-in-law and mother-in-law and all them. But we knew each other growing up, and then fortunately we were able to meet later on in life and get married. But the youngest is Bryant, which will be a junior next year. Coming in as a 10th grade, he's already started school, so he was happy to have us.
Is he an athlete?
He is an athlete. He will play for me anywhere I tell him. He's that type of player, really headsy. Can't help it. He hears it at home every night. Then there's Megan, which is just graduated Auburn University. And then Carly graduated from Alabama, and then UAB, an occupational therapist. And then my 2, Sloan is managing a restaurant in Auburn, and then my daughter Erin is working with home health care, that sort of thing. But Keely runs a bank, PNC Bank. Just love them so much. It's great. We're real close. So
your family helped us with the census count here in Sylacauga. That's a nice family.
We added it.
Yeah. Hey, for people who don't know you, talk about the coaching style of Coach Rob Carter.
Well, I mean, you got to be able to, just not be set in one way. We've learned from all coaches, not just me, but go from Nick Saban to who knows down the road, learning plans. And the main thing is fit your players in the best plan that fits them. So you'll see me. I want to be 50-50. I want to be able to run and pass. At all times. But sometimes your players, since I'm not able to recruit my players, I've got to set the plan that best fits them. You're going to see, you got to win up front. My dad was offensive lineman. He taught me that, those guys are the true football players. They're not playing out there for, too many write-ups and getting all the glory. So, I'm going to base it behind what we can do on the offensive game. And, of course, defense the same way. Win that front. If you're not winning up front, then you're going to struggle at everything you try to do.
And really, Sylacauga High School is no stranger to you because when at Beauregard, you played Sylacauga several times.
Yes. I know we played 5 times. I think that's the record is 4-1. But I was always impressed. I know I inherit Coach Steers, which is an excellent offensive line coach. I know he's going to do a great job. He's ready to go with my plan. You've always had tough kids. I mean, it was going to be the hardest fought games I would always play. Kids didn't give up, and they were, just gritty, and that's what I like about it.
Who are some of the kids, and I know you watch tape, these kids since you were hired, and who are some of the kids that you may lean on early on in spring camp?
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy. Malik Pope is one of the, to me, the premier running back in the state. I think he hadn't got the, I guess you say, the hype he deserves. You got Bryson Edwards, which is a good quarterback.
He's a good one.
That gives you a lot of variance as far as throws the ball well. And the rest, guys, I'm just, I can't give you names. I've given them nicknames here and there. But, I'm really impressed with the kids in the weight room. It just seems habit forming when you walk in there. They work hard, something you didn't have to come in and instill in them. And I've told them over and over how proud I am. Now, let's take that to every level of our practice with that type of intensity and concentration and focus on, getting us better.
Not being that familiar with Beauregard, which you spent a number of years there, what about the facilities? Do they compare?
I mean, you can compare them, but no doubt when you can walk 5 or 10 yards out of your weight room and you're on a turf field, you may not have the roof over your head like an indoor facility, but I mean, that is unbelievable, nice, having that quality of area. But yeah, very compatible. I think Sylacauga's, top notch though.
Everybody has been affected by the COVID pandemic. You guys were at Beauregard and you had to make a lot of changes, a lot of adjustments. How does that come over to Sylacauga High School with us beginning to see a little daylight from COVID?
Right. I mean, I can't, I'm just thankful we're able to get the kids there and I'm able to implement my plan during the spring. I couldn't imagine when Coach Zal came in, he didn't have that opportunity or any of these other new coaches. So I'm thankful of that, but it does give us an awareness of, hey, be cleaner, take care of ourselves, but, I'm just glad we're able to have contact and see the kids every day.
Do you anticipate bringing some of your coaches that you had at Beauregard and Sylacauga? I know it's a little bit different from college. You just can't bring somebody in.
Right. I'm not bringing any from Beauregard. Those guys have settled there and they're doing a good job and they're going to stay at home, but we'll be looking to hire a couple coaches. Absolutely.
The schedule for 2021. Sylacauga has been a perennial playoff team for years and running back every year that's over 1,000 yards, some over 2,000 yards. The schedule for Sylacauga this year, have you had a chance to look at that?
I have. They got a tough schedule, there's no doubt. So, you start off with Leeds, which is, always has been a tough football team and in their past and they're going to continue to get better each year, I can tell, watching them from film. It's a tough schedule. Our area, like I said, I'm familiar with it, our region, and we're gonna play some tough teams, but we got to worry about one at a time and do what we can do to make ourselves better every week.
You got spring practice coming up in a month or two.
That's right. May 10th we'll start. And I'm anxious. I want to start today. There's no doubt. I've never had such re-energized about the game, and I'm anxious to get these players. I'm impressed with, the kids that are working out and the kids I'm bringing back and the staff, and it's tough to wait till May 10th, but we look forward to that day.
How important is it to you to have those kids in the weight room and to have a strong football team? Injury prevention, number one. The weights will help you recover from that. But having them in there and having strong kids, having a great, Coach Steers, Coach Jack's doing a great job of implementing the weight program, getting the kids where they can play at a level if they're not so big, and can compete with a guy that may be a little bit bigger, and the confidence in the kids is very important. The importance of spring practice for you would be, one of the things I'm sure would be to be able to implement your program instead of waiting to the fall. You got some time to put your program in and to look at your players to better be suited in that program. Right, there's no doubt. It's vital to a new coach coming in to be able to implement some of his plan. You're going to see 9 days of practice and then hopefully a competition at the end against another team. So you're going to see me more looking at the players and where they fit my plan or what plan I need to go toward. And I think, you hear Nick Saban talk about that.
when he said, you know, you reporters want to talk about a starting middle linebacker or starting this. I'm just trying to figure out during those 9 or 10 days, or the whole staff is, exactly where this young man is going to fit. He might have had a lot of growth from his 10th grade year to his junior year, so it may change in position-wise and where he can help us best succeed. Your thoughts
at being interviewed for the head football coaching job and the change from Beauregard, which you'd been for 5 or 6 years, and more than that possibly, and coming to Sylacauga, what drew you to this city and this football program?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, the first fall, it was the city. I mean, it was the ride down through the main broad street or whatever, and just that look reminded me of home, you know, and that's number one. And just knowing some of the people and you know, the players and the way they play, the tradition, and just learning more about the tradition. As far as I know, Mr. Lewis gave me a book, or gave my wife a book, and I read it from cover to cover. It had a lot of pictures in it, so that I really liked that book. But just the history, I did not know. I'm so impressed with you know, just the effort of the people to maintain that history and be proud of it, and that's what you want to be a part of.
And what can fans of Sylacauga High School or the Aggie football program hopefully expect this fall?
Well, you know, consistency, a program that, you know, I don't want you to go out there and imagine I'm just going to throw it around the field, but have that opportunity to make defenses not all focus on our run game. We know we got a good running back, and you've always had a good run game. But I think just to open up a little more, be more consistent. Kids have confidence. Don't look at other teams and other areas of the state and be just, you know, wow, we got to play them, you know, versus people need to look at Sylacauga and go, uh-oh, we got to play them. So I hope, you know, you just see a team that stays together and bonds together and really competes.
And a disciplined football team. I'm sure you'd like to be a part of that.
Oh, yeah, your discipline is a key. I mean, you got to install that. You know, that's the main thing about the spring. You know, and I'm sure these players have asked me questions. Coach, what's your style? What's this? And I said, well, we'll figure that out. But number one is hit people. You know, have all 11 out there, not 10, not 9, not 12. You know, be those sort of things. Those those mistakes mentally is the what I definitely am going to push.
Coach Rob Carter, the head football coach, recently named Sylacauga High School. Do you pattern yourself after your dad's coaching style anyway?
No, he probably ran the wishbone or something. But I think the toughness. Yeah, I mean, it was never a get up, put a little dirt on it, wipe off, you know, whatever. You know, that deal is definitely where I'm a tough mentality. So, you know, that's where the run game would come in and you know, physically, you're going to have to beat me. Don't just because you've won games, you know, you're playing me this week, you're going to put your best out there to beat me. So that's my mentality.
And finally this morning, it'll be a hot summer workout program. Hot summer is starting to fall. Kids get tired. And mentally, how important is it that they press on?
Well, I mean, you know, I probably changed a little bit. We're going to meet at 6:30 in the morning and start our workouts, get the kids up, and you know, mentally, those are distractions. You know, we got to keep our focus, and those things are going to come at us from different ways, whether it be the heat, the bad weather, or something like that, or something not favorable, early morning hours. You know, the kids have got to learn that those are all distractions to get you away from your focus and you know, compete at your, you know, best mental ability. So, you know, I look forward to the weights and I look forward to the heat because we're going to endure that on the first Friday night and the second, third in Alabama. So,
yeah. Coach Rob Carter, the head football coach at Sylacauga High School, our guest. Coach, thanks for coming by this morning. Always a pleasure. And we look forward to with the Coach Rob Carter show this fall here on the TV station. Appreciate you coming.
All right, thank you.
More Daybreak coming up right after this.